My friends, I need you to listen closely today because what I'm about to share could put real money in your pocket this month, and I don't want you to miss out on a single dollar that belongs to you. I know how hard it is out there right now. I hear from folks every single day who are struggling to make their Social Security check stretch until the end of the month, who are choosing between their medications and their groceries, who are wondering how they're going to pay for gas to get to their doctor's appointments. And I want you to know that I see you, I hear you, and today I'm bringing you information that could genuinely help. We're talking about 4 different programs that are putting money into people's hands right now, and you deserve to know if you qualify. There's talk of a $2,000 stimulus payment, a $1,776 dividend check that some states are distributing, updates to your SNAP benefits that could increase your food assistance, and a $1,000 tax rebate that many seniors don't even know they're eligible for. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you, the way I always am. Not everyone is going to qualify for all 4 of these programs, but chances are, if you're watching this video today, you probably qualify for at least 1 or 2 of them, and even if it's just one program, that could mean hundreds or even thousands of dollars coming your way to help with your bills, your rent, your medical expenses, or whatever you need most. So please, stay with me through this entire video because I'm going to break down each program, tell you exactly who qualifies, how much you could receive, and most importantly, how to make sure you actually get this money. Grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's go through this together. Let me start with the biggest number that's been making headlines, and that's this $2,000 stimulus payment that people keep hearing about. Now, I want to be crystal clear with you because there's a lot of confusion and misinformation floating around out there. As of right now, there is no federal $2,000 stimulus check that's been approved by Congress and signed into law. I wish I could tell you differently, but I promised you I'd always shoot straight, and that's what I'm going to do. However, and this is important, several states have created their own relief programs that are putting significant money into residents' pockets, and some of these payments are reaching $2,000 or more for eligible households. What's happening is that certain states that had budget surpluses or received special funding are distributing what they're calling inflation relief payments, taxpayer rebates, or cost of living assistance. California, for example, sent out middle-class tax refund payments last year that ranged from $200 to $1,050 per household, and they're discussing additional relief programs. Colorado distributed Tabor refunds that gave some residents up to $1,500. Maine sent out relief checks of $850 for single filers and $1,900 for joint filers. And several other states, including New Mexico, Virginia, Massachusetts, and Minnesota, have implemented similar programs. Now, here's what you need to understand about these state programs. Eligibility is usually based on whether you filed a state tax return, your income level, and whether you were a full-time resident of that state during the previous tax year. So if you're someone who receives Social Security or SSI as your only income, you might think you don't qualify because you don't normally file taxes, but that's not always true. In many states, they specifically included seniors and people on fixed incomes in these relief programs, even if they didn't file a traditional tax return. What I'm telling you to do is this. Go to your state's Department of Revenue website or your state's Department of Treasury website and search for terms like inflation relief payment, taxpayer rebate, or stimulus check, along with your state's name and the current year. Many states are still processing these payments, and some are planning additional rounds of relief. I've seen situations where people didn't even know they qualified until they checked their bank account and saw a direct deposit from their state treasury. Don't assume you don't qualify just because you're on Social Security or disability. Check for your state specifically, and if you find that you were supposed to receive a payment but didn't, there's usually a phone number or online portal where you can inquire about your status. Now let's talk about this $1,276 dividend check, because that's a very specific number and it's catching a lot of attention. This one is actually legitimate and real for people who live in Alaska. Alaska has something called the Permanent Fund Dividend, and every year they distribute a portion of the state's oil revenue to residents who qualify. The amount changes every year based on how the fund performs, and this year the payment is expected to be around $1,276, though the exact amount can vary slightly. To qualify for the Alaska Permanent Fund Dividend, you have to be a full-time Alaska resident for the entire previous calendar year, and you have to apply during the application window, which typically runs from January through March. If you're an Alaska resident watching this and you haven't applied yet, you need to do that right away. And here's something important for seniors. Even if you receive Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or VA benefits, you can still receive the Permanent Fund Dividend. It doesn't count as income that will reduce your other benefits, which is fantastic news. In fact, many Alaska seniors rely on this annual dividend as an important supplement to their retirement income. If you moved to Alaska recently, you need to understand that there's a residency requirement, so you typically can't qualify in your first year. But after you've been there for a full calendar year and meet all the other requirements, you can apply the following January. Now, if you don't live in Alaska, you won't qualify for this particular program, but I mention it because some other states have discussed implementing similar dividend programs, and it's worth keeping an eye on your own state legislature to see if they're considering anything like this in the future. Let me move on to SNAP benefits, which is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, what many of us still call food stamps. There have been some significant updates to SNAP recently that affect seniors, and I want to make sure you understand what's changed. First off, the SNAP program received a major overhaul in terms of how they calculate benefits, and many seniors are now qualifying for higher monthly assistance than they did before. The average SNAP benefit for a single-person household right now is around $195 per month, but depending on your state and your specific circumstances, you could receive anywhere from $23 up to $281 per month. What changed recently is that they adjusted the income limits, and they also changed some of the deduction calculations, which means people who might not have qualified before or who were only getting minimal benefits might now qualify for substantially more. For seniors age 60 and older, there are special rules that can work in your favor. You can deduct certain medical expenses from your income when they calculate your SNAP eligibility, which can significantly increase your benefit amount. Any medical expenses over $35 per month can be deducted, and this includes things like your Medicare premiums, prescription drug costs, doctor co-pays, dental expenses, and even medical transportation costs. I've seen situations where a senior was only getting $16 a month in SNAP benefits, but after they properly reported their medical expenses, their benefit jumped up to $150 a month. That's a real difference when you're trying to eat healthy and make your money stretch. Another important update is that many states have simplified the recertification process for seniors and people with disabilities. Some states now allow seniors to recertify only once every 2 or 3 years instead of annually, which makes things much easier. Also, and this is crucial, if you're on SSI, you may be able to get expedited SNAP benefits, which means you could receive your benefits within 7 days of applying instead of waiting the standard 30 days. If you've never applied for SNAP because you thought you wouldn't qualify or because you felt like it wasn't for you, I want you to reconsider. This is a program you've paid into through your taxes your entire working life, and it's designed to help people like you afford nutritious food. There's no shame in using a benefit that's available to you, especially in today's economy where groceries cost twice what they did just a few years ago. You can apply online in most states through your state's Department of Human Services website, or you can call your local SNAP office and request a paper application. Many senior centers also have staff or volunteers who can help you with the application process. Now let's talk about this $1,000 tax rebate, because this is where I think a lot of seniors are missing out on money that's rightfully theirs. What I'm referring to here are several different tax credits and rebates that many seniors either don't know about or don't realize they qualify for. Let me break down the main ones. First, there's something called the Credit for the Elderly or the Disabled, which is IRS Form 1040 Schedule R. This is a federal tax credit that can reduce your tax bill by $3,650 to $7,500, depending on your filing status and income. Many seniors don't claim this because they don't file taxes, but here's the thing. Even if your Social Security benefits aren't taxable, you might still benefit from filing a return just to claim this credit. If the credit is more than your tax liability, it can result in a refund check. Second, there are state-level property tax rebates and credits that many seniors are eligible for. Almost every state offers some kind of property tax relief program for seniors, and these can put anywhere from a few $100s to over $1,000 back in your pocket. Some states call them circuit breaker programs, some call them homestead credits, and others call them property tax freeze programs. The specific name and rules vary by state, but the concept is the same. They're designed to help seniors on fixed incomes afford to stay in their homes by reducing or rebating a portion of their property taxes. Even if you rent rather than own, some states have renters rebate programs that work similarly. You typically apply through your state's Department of Revenue, and many states automatically send applications to people over a certain age, but not all of them do. Third, there are energy assistance credits and rebates. The Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, or LIHAP, provides help with heating and cooling costs, and many seniors qualify. The benefit amounts vary widely, but I've seen seniors receive anywhere from $300 to $1,000 or more to help with their utility bills. Some utility companies also offer their own assistance programs for seniors. And fourth, don't forget about the Earned Income Tax Credit if you had any earned income last year, or the Recovery Rebate Credit if you were somehow missed on the previous rounds of federal stimulus payments. The point I'm making is this. There are multiple programs at both the federal and state level that can put $1,000 or more in your pocket, but you have to know about them and you have to apply or file for them. This is where I strongly encourage you to reach out to organizations that provide free tax help for seniors. The AARP Foundation Tax Aid Program offers free tax preparation services to anyone age 50 and older, with special attention to people who are 60 and older and those who have low to moderate income. They can make sure you're claiming every credit and benefit you're entitled to. You can also contact your local area agency on aging, which can connect you with benefits counseling services that will review your entire financial situation and tell you what programs you're eligible for. A lot of times, seniors are missing out on thousands of dollars in combined benefits simply because they don't know these programs exist or they think the application process is too complicated. Getting help from a trained benefits counselor can literally change your financial situation. Let me tie all of this together for you and give you some practical steps you can take today. First, make a list of every benefit program you're currently receiving: Social Security Retirement, SSI, SSDI, VA benefits, Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP, whatever applies to you. Then, I want you to contact your local area agency on aging or senior center and ask if they offer benefits screening or counseling. Tell them you want to make sure you're receiving every benefit you're eligible for, including any state-level relief payments, tax credits, or assistance programs. They can run your information through databases that check dozens of programs at once. Second, if you haven't already done so, make sure you're signed up for direct deposit for all your benefits. This ensures you get your money quickly and safely, and it also makes sure you don't miss any special payments that might be distributed. Third, keep careful records of your medical expenses because, as I mentioned, these can help you qualify for higher SNAP benefits and various tax credits. Every prescription, every copay, every medical supply, every trip to the doctor, write it all down and save those receipts. Fourth, don't be afraid to ask for help. There are so many free resources available specifically for seniors, but you have to reach out and use them. The National Council on Aging has a tool called Benefits Checkup on their website, where you can enter your information and find out what programs you qualify for. It's completely free and confidential. My friends, I know this has been a lot of information, but I hope you can see that there really are opportunities out there to increase your monthly income and get help with your expenses. While there isn't a universal $2,000 federal stimulus check being sent to everyone right now, there are multiple state programs, tax credits, benefit increases, and rebates that could add up to significant money in your pocket. The key is being proactive, doing your research, and not being afraid to apply for programs you're eligible for. Remember, you've worked hard your entire life, you've paid into these systems, and these benefits exist to help you live with dignity and security in your retirement years. Don't let pride or lack of information keep you from getting help that's available to you. I want you to share this video with your friends, your family members, anyone you know who might benefit from this information. And if you found this helpful, please take a moment to like and subscribe because I'm here every week bringing you the latest updates on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, VA benefits, and any other programs that affect your financial well-being. I'm rooting for you, I'm here for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves, and remember, you deserve every benefit you're entitled to.